It's time for another thrilling episode on the adventures, my adventures, uh, from Ransomville, my life in Ransomville, where I lived for some 30 years. And since then, my travels have taken me to Texas and, you know, various places that the military decided to send me, uh, including Da Nang, Vietnam. But anyhow, here's a little story that you really might like. It was kind of funny to me at the time. It wasn't funny, it was real. It was very real. And it's where I was coming of age. But anyhow, if you like my stories, please don't forget, click the like button right down there on your screen. And also click the little bell so you'll be notified when I publish new ones. And also subscribe to my channel. And you can watch hours and hours and hours of interesting videos, from shooting on our farm in Texas to fishing stories to travel in Europe. Anyhow, cheap entertainment. Just a box of popcorn is all you need. All right, anyhow, here we go. This is episode number 3, and this is called The Sweater Girl. It's true, so here goes. Many times in late high school, I would ride home with my friend Clyde. He was a good friend, and he was a cool guy. And he was kind of on an inner circle, so to speak. Rather wild, but he was cool. You will hear more about him in other stories that I have. Clyde drove his mother's 1952 Chevrolet. That was a really classic. And it would top out at 82 miles an hour. So, everywhere we went, 82 miles an hour, no more, no less, on a flat road. But 82 miles an hour it was. Now, my other friend, Paul, he drove his mother's 1954 Chevy, and that was the Streamliner. And it would top out at 94 miles an hour. This was a real sore spot with Clyde. One day, we were leaving the school, and I saw her. It was true. She lived about halfway between the high school and Ransomville. And if you saw her, you would understand that she was indeed the sweater girl. Let me put her in perspective. This was a time when no food products like milk or meats or anything edible had growth hormones or antibiotics, no GMOs, no chemicals, period. What I'm saying is that a girl in high school had big boobs. Well, she had big everything. It's simple. Now she comes into the picture. 5'2" maybe, 110 pounds maybe. And she looked better in a sweater than any girl in our school for certain. No contest. Wow, what a good looking girl. She lived about halfway between Wilson and Ransomville, like I said. So I walked up to her and I said, would she like a ride home? She said, okay. Holy moly. So anyhow, we get to the car and she hops in between us. And away we go. It's raining steady as we head out of town on Lake Road. Lake Road runs along Lake Ontario all the way to Youngstown. But we would be turning off at Ransomville Road, less than halfway to Youngstown. We had just cleared the Roosevelt Bridge when Paul goes flashing by in his mom's Chevy. But the chase is on. Of course the chase is on. It's always on. But Paul is pulling away. It made no sense that we were chasing Paul. We had the hottie in the car with us. At this point, I might add that Clyde's mother's car did not have the best tires. So here we are tearing along Lake Road, not sure if I can take my eyes off the hottie, but getting near Ransomville Road, Clyde exclaims with great joy, "We're catching them!" Maybe because they're turning, huh? Uh-oh, it's still raining. Clyde taps the brakes And here we go, a snap 180, and we're going straight down the road backwards at, you guessed it, 82 miles an hour. Rather exciting when you're looking out the window, the rear window, going that fast. The sweater girl is sobbing. Another full 360 on the road. We still we should have been in a ditch or on a roof at least. Who knows what. But we were still righted, and amazing. Professional driving skills, I'm sure. Paul sees us coming and guns it to get out of the way. One of our rotations, I looked into his car and I could see some worried looking faces. There's a jet going by. I always hear him, but I never see him. When we missed Paul, we are still going sideways, and we're going to go in the ditch for sure. But there's a culvert pipe that is enclosed with concrete on the end of Ransomville Road. And there's two of those triangular shaped concrete poles guarding that. So the car finally, it rocks to a stop, and Clyde asks, "How bad is it?" I roll down the window in the rain and stuck my head out. Looking down and see both the posts are within an inch of the car. It was that close. She is crying now. I'm volunteering to comfort her. Paul had stopped on the road and then took off, saying that we survived. The sweater girl is coming of age, and I was there to help. We got her home, and she only lived a short way up the road. I wanted to go in and help calm her down, but Clyde demanded that we leave because he wanted to make sure that the guys in Paul's car would keep quiet. He said if his driving was reported to his mother, his driving was toast. Excuse me. The sweater girl hops out without a single word of thanks. Not one word of thanks to us for such an exciting ride. And it was raining, true, but her jeans were wet. What? That's the way it was. Off we go, trying to get to town before word gets out. Less than a mile later, there's a small hill with a road crossing on the other side. We crest the hill, booking pretty good. Clyde taps the brakes one more time, and it's straight backwards through the stop sign on Ransomville Road. Well, anyhow, fortunately, the intersection was clear. Once again, we avoided the ditches. I know for certain it was not skillful driving. Clyde gets out and says, "You drive." I don't know if Clyde's mom ever found out. I'm sad to tell you that the sweater girl never rode with us again. She has no idea what fun we were having. But now, as a sequel to that story, it had to happen. Sometime later, it was maybe only a week or so, we're on the way home and Clyde is driving 50 miles an hour. What? 50 miles an hour? Yep. So I said, what's going on here? How will I be able to get my daily adrenaline rush? Clyde said that if his mother had found out that he was driving way too fast, if she heard it one more time, she said he's never going to drive her car again. So where we are, creeping along at 50 miles an hour, it must be a tremendous stress on the horses under the hood. We are even slowing down at 45 for a curve in the road. Seems strange not hearing the tires screaming in pain. Then it happened. It was like the car said to itself, "This is not right." So it was boom, clatter, crunch, bang. It's a classic oil pan failure. The oil and miscellaneous parts are no longer inside the oil pan. Clyde says, my mom is not going to believe this. And so ends chapter 3, episode 3. So just remember, always remember, no matter where you go, there you are. Bye.